targeting 62,000 for Bitcoin by the end of March. I think there's a good chance we're making our lows for the first half, like this week. So Bitcoin is down, but it's our clients, it's actually not a surprise to our clients because Mark Newton, our head of technical strategy, really pointed out the cycles in mid-January that he was targeting 62,000 for Bitcoin by the end of March. So we're actually on our way to 62, but that's not a bearish development. It's just a retracement. To me, is 62,000 a reason to turn bearish on Bitcoin? I mean, if you're trading it, yeah, but I don't think it moves. It's still a risk on assets. So I don't expect it to do well if the market is being hit by tariffs. Like it's not immune to that kind of turbulence, but the investors view this as a crisis when it's really a growth scare. Is there room for a lot more people to own it? Yes. So I'm not really bearish on it, but I think in the near term, it's hard to say it should go up right now.
The downturn in Bitcoin's price may not be over, with a potential drop to $62,000 due to market uncertainty. Tom Lee, co-founder of Fundstrat, and Mark Newton, head of technical strategy, suggest this decline aligns with Bitcoin's expected cycles. While some see this as bearish, long-term investors recognize it as routine volatility. Tom Lee notes that Bitcoin, as a risk-on asset, is affected by economic concerns and tariff changes. He views this pullback as a temporary setback, not a crisis. Despite short-term instability, institutional adoption is rising, and Bitcoin's long-term trajectory remains strong. Watch until the end of the video for Tom Lee's latest insights and Bitcoin price forecast. Also, if you enjoy listening to crypto-related content, please show your support by liking and subscribing to this channel by following the link in my bio, and get access to my free daily crypto updates and expert predictions direct to your inbox. Each newsletter contains on-chain data, forecasts and expert predictions. All of this is available free of charge. It only takes a moment to sign up and you can always change your mind later. Now back over to Tom Lee.
If we think back over the last year, in Bitcoin in particular, right, we had the approval of the ETFs, we had a big ramp in those things, then we saw it go sideways for, I want to say 7-8 months until the election, and then it goes from basically 65,000 up to 105,000, and now it's back here. It broke below that 90,000 level, and maybe it's like 84,000 or something like that. Give us your 411 on Bitcoin right now.
The best strategy for our clients that we've recommended is you just want to be a long-term holder, but most people don't approach crypto that way. Most are trading it and want instant return. The work by our technical strategist, Mark Newton, so he thinks Solana, Ethereum, and Bitcoin all have downside. He has been bearish since mid-January. So I think it's been correct. And his downside target for Bitcoin is 62,000 by the end of March. But to me, is 62,000 a reason to turn bearish on Bitcoin? I mean, if you're trading it, yeah, but, Bitcoin was $1,000, well, $100 10 years ago. So, 60,000 is still a fantastic return. And I think Bitcoin's usefulness is still improving. I don't think it moves. It's still a risk on assets. So I don't expect it to do well if the market is being hit by tariffs. Like it's not immune to that kind of turbulence, but is the trust around Bitcoin going to grow over the next 5 years? Yes. And is it going to be increasingly viewed as a store of value like gold? Yes, I think increasingly. And then is there room for a lot more people to own it? Yes. So I'm not really bearish on it, but I think in the near term, it's hard to say it should go up right now. I mean, the market is trying to price in a lot of these uncertainties right now. And so it's understandable that we're churning, but investors don't want to become too bearish because the market sentiment, and it's already measurable, like the AAII survey, which is what we've used for the last 14 years. I think it's the best retail sentiment survey, is at the same bearish levels it was in the fall of 2022. So retail sentiment, and that's probably because there's been a ton of margin calls last couple weeks, is at the levels that were at the depths of that recent bear market. So the investors view this as a crisis when it's really a growth scare. So to me, I think there's a good chance we're making our lows for the first half, like this week. I mean, the only thing is I'm not that optimistic about the job picture for the near term. So maybe that's one last leg. But the reality is that a lot of bad news has gotten priced in. And, on the flip side of this is that the closer we get to stall speed, the more the Fed has to get off neutral. And I think the White House will have to back off talk of things that could be hurting the economy.
Do you think we're going to get a 10% pullback in the S&P this year? Because we did have one July highs to the August lows, and things kind of accelerated into that August low, and it felt a little panicky. And again, since then, we haven't had too much panic. I think that move in December after the Fed meeting, that felt really bad. But we were not making, it didn't take long to make new highs.
Well, I think that July to August was like essentially, I would say Fed driven.
Yeah.
And so that makes sense because it felt like either the Fed made a policy error or the Fed turned hawkish.
Right.
But either way, we had a big drawdown. Will that happen this year? I mean, yeah, I think it'll happen. If I'm guessing, it's more in the second half. So I think this is just a flesh wound right now. Because let's say that some policies implemented that would cause the U.S. stock market to go down 10.
Yeah.
I'll guarantee you the rest of the world's down 30.
Right.
So will Europe and Canada, Mexico dig in and we'll just power through this? No, they're going to capitulate. So the reality is that this brinksmanship probably means the other side caves in. That's why I don't think
But it probably takes longer than expected because I think we keep throwing these threats out, but we don't actually put any requests for concessions out, right? There really aren't that many right now. I mean, it seems like it's a bit of a tit for tat. And I think the other side is just kind of sitting there and they're taking the volleys right now because they don't really know what they want.
I'm not an administrator, so I don't know what kind of back channel talk there is. I'm sure there is.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to access my free daily crypto updates and expert predictions direct to your inbox.